Okay, so we are building our own widget, our own timeline widget now. So you see when you go to your website and you see some things being showed as a timeline, and most of the time you go around and you see that you need to pay for those kind of widgets, or it's very difficult to build yourself. So I'm going to show you one that you can use Elementor Pro. Maybe you can still use this with the normal Elementor. I'm not too sure because it's been a while since I've been using the normal one, but this is how it looks like, right? Okay, now I have a timeline design here. First, there's the meat box: design, development, presentation, deployment, and maintenance. If you have the pro version, I'm gonna scroll up again, then we can see, and we can also apply some motion and animation into it so that it will appear a lot nicer. Alright, so and here we go, the timeline, right? And let's scroll down some more, and that's the last box. Alright, so you don't really need an expensive paid plugin for this. You can just use the normal Elementor that you have. Now let's have a look at how it looks like on mobile. Of course, on Google Chrome, if you hit F12, you get this developer tool on the right, or you can position it at the bottom or something like that, or to the side. Now, and here we have this toggle device toolbar where we can simulate how it looks like on a mobile device. I'm going to choose here. You can click and drop down this, and let's say the Pixel 2, right? And that is how it looks like on mobile. Still nice, good looking. And if we turn this off, we'll be back at our desktop version. Now we can still create this even without a paid plugin or a paid widget, something like that. Now I'm going to show you how we do this. Okay, there we go. All right, so here at no, which one is it? Okay, now we're starting off with a new page here, and I'm going to click and edit this with Elementor. All right, let's change that into the full canvas. All right, so we have a blank, clean canvas here. To start this off, what we need to do is to start with a structure. Now, because it's a timeline and we have some box on the left, some box on the right, we'll be using the 3-column here. Okay, let's just have a spacer on top. It's seems to be a bit difficult there. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. Okay, now this is going to be our timeline widget. The idea here is we're going to have like a line in the middle and a box on the left and a box on the right. To do that, we are let's just click on this container here, and I'm going to change this into boxed and maybe 800 pixels, boxed in at 800 pixels. And the idea here is to have 2 columns on the left and right, which is the same sizes, and 1 column in the middle, which is a bit smaller for the line. Now I'm going to click on the middle column here and give it a width of maybe 10%. And because everything is 100%, so 100 minus 10 is 90. 90 divided by 2, because we have 2 more columns on the left and right, that is going to be 45. 45% on the left, column width, and let's click on this one, and 45 on the right, and let's do the middle again, and 10% on the middle. It's a bit stubborn there. 45 on the left. I'm going to try and drag this. Seems to be a bit stubborn. 45, and drag this one in, and click it, and wait. Okay, 10, 45. Oh, not that one. We want the column there. 45. You get it? Almost 10, not exactly 10. 45, 10, and yeah, about 45. Okay, there you go. Okay, I think that should do it. Okay, and then the next thing that we want to do, we want to make sure that we want the lines to be connected from the top to the bottom, right? So the column gaps here, we are going to move the column gaps, no column gaps, and the first thing that we do is we will be putting in a background image for the middle column. So we're going to click on that, and then we go to our properties here, and on style, let's go on background. We are going to be inserting an image. Now to create that image, it's just going to be like a really small 4x4 pixels image, because we want that thin line in the middle, and it doesn't have to be so long. And we will be, because it's going to tile itself. Now instead of tiling it all over, we're just going to tile it vertically. So even though it's a short 4 pixel image, when it tiles itself, you will see that it will start to form a line. So I use this website here, png-pixel.com. You don't have any Photoshop, you don't have any Canva or anything like that, or Affinity Designer or any graphic software. You can use this just to create the simple 4x4 pixels image. So the line, you can choose any color that you want, depending on your design. Let's say I'm using this color here. It's kind of like almost black, but not so much of a black. Okay, and click OK there. Width 4x4 pixels. All that is fine. Click download and download. Alright, I have two there. I have the blue one and I have the black one, but that's fine. So we are going to change the background of this thing here, and make sure you click on the right, the middle column. Click on that paintbrush there, and on image, upload, select. Those are some. Now where did I put it? Here we go, the black one, and insert. Now as you see, because it's one tiny image and we have it tiled throughout the column, you see that it fills out the whole column. But down here we can see the position. Make sure we select top and center, and then repeat, you select repeat Y. There you go. Right, and now it's starting to taking shape here. We can have an image on the left, and if we duplicate this, we can have and move this image over to the right. We will start to see the timeline starting to form with some information on the left and some information on the right. Okay, but instead of an image, maybe you want to put something else. What I use is, you have a lot of options for boxes here. What I used previously is something like the author box, right? And I click that, you get something like that. But instead of you using the current author, maybe you want to change that into custom. Okay, and I'm not using any image. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, you have that option there. Maybe I'm gonna get rid of this image here, and I'm gonna get rid of the image in the author box. You hover on the image here and you can just click on that trash can, and you're just left with that. Okay, unfortunately you're left with you don't have much styling options here when it comes to the text in this author box. So what I do is I use custom CSS, which is available in Elementor Pro. When you click on that widget there, you click on Advanced, and you start to see that you can apply some custom CSS. Now, the idea here is to apply. First thing is to use some apply some CSS class, which is my timeline box, and scroll down. Hold on, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. You see here the author info that we are using H4 for that. So back to advanced, back to custom CSS. Let's do the timeline box and then H4, and then we can start to have a bit of a background color, for example. There you go, and you can see the background color starting to form. And then maybe a bit of a padding, some padding for just for the title, for the author name there. Maybe 10px. All right. If the top and bottom is too much, you can have something like that, 7px and 10px. All right. Update that, and maybe you want some background for the description as well. Okay, let's have a look at the website right now. Alright, now we want to know how can we customize this part here. Normally I just do a right click and do an inspect element, because we want to know what element that is in. So it's a paragraph P there, and you can see we have this Elementor author box bio there. You can click on that, double click on that, and just we want to copy that element, that class there. Okay, I've copied that. Back to the our Elementor and to the author box. Scroll down at the custom CSS. Again, timeline box, but this time with a dot, and paste. There you go. You have your the class for that Elementor description. And we can also apply some background color here. What would be a good color? Yeah, something like that maybe, and maybe also the same padding size, which is 7px and 10px. Right, that should look okay. Or maybe, yeah, why don't just 10 altogether? Right. How about 15? Okay, I think that's good. Now, back to the style. Now, there's some distance, some spacing there from the author name and the description. That is the gap. This is the image gap. Okay, we're changing things for the text. The name gap, right? You can see you can start to change that. Let's just change that into 1. Just a thin line, a 1 pixel white background color for that. Okay, now it looks nice. If we don't want this image here, we can right click and delete that. And we can, on the author box that we have here, we can right click and duplicate that and start moving that into your next area of the timeline. Alright, now the next thing that we want to do is we can have some dots or numbers appearing along the line in the middle. Now you can use all kind of things. Maybe you can use an icon. You can click and put that icon there, right? And we can click and change the icon itself. Maybe you want to use one of this stop circle, right? Or yeah, why don't we just try and do that for now? What's the circle again? Alright, you have a number of options here. I'm going to choose this one for now. Insert. If that is a bit too big, we can go to style and start to change the size. Okay, now as you can see, it's a bit popping up the top area there. You can see the line is a bit popping up on top of the circle. What we can do is we can click on the column here and make sure you got that selected. Okay, maybe on advanced, let's just unchain the margin and put a bit of margin. There you go. Alright, next, if we want to change the color of this icon, I think I just moved that. Let's just undo that thing. Not there. Alright, it's back to where it should be. Click on the icon and style. I can change the color to a red or something like that. Alright, now we can start to duplicate that and move that down into the middle column of the second row. Oop, not there. Here we go. There you go. And we can have that same but on this one, click on the column itself. Instead of the margin, we're going to change the padding, because we don't want the line to be having a gap between it itself. So unchain the padding and the top padding, put the 5 there, or maybe a 10. Right, so that seems to look aligning a lot nicer with the title. If that is not enough, maybe a 15. How about 12? Yeah, 12 is nice. Okay, save that and let's see how it's coming along. Let's just do preview changes. Yep, it's coming along quite nicely. And for the last one, we can right click and duplicate this row, and we are going to remove the author box here. And what we're going to do after this is let's just duplicate this one, and we are going to how about this column here? Can we like simply reset the style, and we are going to remove this this dot here, this icon. So do you remember on the left and right, the width is 45%. So what we are going to do, maybe we can do this as 46. It's close enough. 46, and 46, 100 minus 46 is 54. So 25 plus 2 is 47 on each left and right. So 47 and 46. Wait, is that right? 27. Yeah, let's do 27. 27. Is this still 46? This should be 46. 27, 46, 27. Yeah, that's right. Now we are going to duplicate this author box here. Click and drag that into the middle column of the last row. Now we don't want that extra line sticking out of the red ball. Let's click on that column and apply a bit of margin at the bottom. So unchain that. Margin bottom, let's try 20. Let's try 30. Is that the way to do it? No, I don't think so. Let me think. How do we do this? Okay, yeah. Um, uh, let's apply a 12, and then on this column here, the position, make sure the position you put it at bottom and center. This icon here. Let's remove all margins, all paddings. Well, close enough. Update, and let's see how it looks like on the browser. Let's see if we can fix that line sticking down the bottom there. I think it's because of some spacing that we have on this icon itself. So let's see if we can change anything on that, because it's pushing down the space of the column. What if we do a bit of a negative value for the bottom margin? Yep, that should do it. Okay, doesn't have to be on everything. I'm going to change that, unchange this, and put a bit of a negative value on the bottom margin. 9 should do it. Okay, now we want to make sure that it looks alright on mobile as well. So let's just update that for now. Let's change our view to mobile. Okay, now what you do from here is this. First, for this first one, let's click on that section there. We are going to go to advanced, and on responsive we are going to reverse it on mobile, like that. We want that the dot to be the first thing, that to be on top, and the content to be on the bottom part. Then we click on the column. Let's just give that a width of 10%, and on the column with your author box here, we can give that a width of 90%. Alright, and you see we have this other column here. We can click on that, and at advanced responsive we can hide that on mobile. Alright, now let's do that for the next section. Okay, hold on. Okay, now as you see this one, you don't need to reverse it on mobile because it's on the right position, but we still need to set the width of the column to 10%, the one with the ball, and the one with the author box here to 90%. There you go. And this last one, oops, right, make sure you got the section there. Alright, we do need to do something special for this last one. What we're going to do is we are going to hide all this together. Wait, hold on. I'm going to click update, save that, and I am going to go back into the desktop mode. We are going to need this one. Wait, hold on. This author box here, I'm going to duplicate that. Okay, and I'm going to click and move that into this column here, the second last column. Yep, like that. But let's click on this author box here. Okay, and on advanced responsive we are going to hide it on desktop and on tablet. Okay, now we can go back to the mobile view and apply 10% on this column and 90% on the next column. And you see we have this other column here on the top. click that. We are going to hide that on mobile. Hide on mobile. And also the last section here, we're going to hide that on mobile as well. Responsive, hide on mobile, update. Now we can go back and see how that looks like on mobile view. F12. Right, if you need, well, we can still apply some margin and padding here. Let's go back to this. Let's just apply some for this whole section here. We can go to advanced and unlink that, and maybe apply some padding on the left and right. So 15 on the left, 15 on the right. Okay, and maybe the same for the other section as well. This one, advanced, 15 on the left and 15 on the right. And then the next one, this one, advanced, unlink that, 15 on the left and 15 on the right. And update. Let's go back to here again. It's refreshing. Alright, a lot better. Some spaces on the left and right. And if we remove the mobile simulation, we get that. Okay. And of course, if you want, you can apply some animation, some motion there. Back to desktop, or you can click on the author box. You can go to advanced and motion effect. This entrance animation. Maybe I'll do a slide from left for this one, and maybe a slide from right for the second one. Slide, where is that thing? And maybe for this last one, I'll make it appear slide from the bottom. Slide in up. Yep. And we can also make this appear. Let's make the column itself appear. Some motion effect for the column itself, where it will fade in down. And for the icon there, the red dot, let's just make that zoom in. Okay, but we are going to delay that by 300 millisecond. Okay, I think this column and this column and this column, they are all, well, maybe not. So I'm just going to do it one by one now. Click on the column. That is going to be what did I do that one? Slide in down, and the icon there, that is going to be zooming in. Okay, and this one, sliding in down, and the icon box is going to be zooming in. Yeah, I forgot. Let's put in the 300 millisecond delay on that, and a 300 millisecond delay on this one. Okay, let's have a look. Well, there you go. I think if we have a lot more longer tags, and if it is a lot longer, you'll see a lot nicer animation there. If you want, we can just duplicate this. I mean, duplicate the whole section, and then put it down here somewhere. All right, there you go. And for the next one, you can duplicate that and drag and position that into the right place, and now you have yourself a timeline, right? And you can make as many as you want. You just duplicate the this is not the right thing though. I just need to fix this one thing, uh, this third section here, advanced. We're going to remove that top margin, and give it the top padding of 12, was it? Yep, there you go. Because we don't want that line to be breaking. Right now you can just duplicate the left side, the right side, and start um, getting it down and putting in more and more as you need it, as you need more boxes, more information inside. Right, I think that looks quite nice. So I guess that's it. That is how you make a timeline without additional paid plugin or widgets. And have a nice day.